So my partner and I are gonna, debate against raising the minimum wage. One of the reasons why that we don't wanna raise it is because, raising the minimum wage, I mean, there's already laws that exist in the states that already take into account the minimum wage federally. So if you raise the federal minimum wage, it would also raise the state's minimum wage, which would cause more inflation. According to the waging in a debate for the pros and cons against the minimum wage, they conclude that evidence still shows that the minimum wage poses the trade-off of higher wage for someone against losing other jobs. And the policymakers need to bear trade-off and keep trade-off in mind when they are making decisions about increasing the minimum wage. If you increase the minimum wage, it will also increase the cost that comes from companies. So it is more likely that companies will not hire people. Raising the minimum wage will also, like I said, push businesses to not hire them. And according to the Quora, and why we should increase the minimum wage if you were to increase the minimum wage to $20 per hour, we have two choices. We can either pay all the cashiers, cooks, and businesses, dishwashers, $20 an hour to comply with the new minimum wage, or try to become more efficient. By becoming more efficient, you will have to hire less people or lay some people off, and this will create a higher unemployment rate. In addition, a person who works for the on a full-time federal minimum wage makes about $1,500 per year before taxes. This isn't intended for someone to live off of. It's just intended so that companies don't take advantage of the workers. It was implemented not to keep people out of poverty, but also to make sure that that the companies are just with the workers. And increasing the minimum wage doesn't solve the poverty issue. Raising the minimum wage affects people that are making wages slightly above the minimum wage. According to the Brookings Institution, the argument that only a small share of workers is actually paid in a minimum wage misses the key point. Many of those workers would be impacted by the raising the minimum wage that are actually low wages, working slightly above that minimum wage. So if some people are already contracted that have slightly above the minimum wage, their rates won't change. They will maintain the same. This will only affect the new hires, and thus potentially increasing the poverty line. Another example would be a starting salary for a pilot. Just so you can take it into perspective, the starting salary for a pilot is $22,000 a year. That is working full time, and this is about $10.75 per hour. So to become a pilot, it's a highly training type of job. You need a lot of flying hours. I believe it's 1,500 hours per 1,500 hours of flight before you can actually become a regional pilot. This would put them just above minimum wage, and it would. This shows you kind of like how putting someone putting someone that's above the minimum wage, would make him go closer to the poverty line. These are some of the reasons why I believe that we shouldn't raise the minimum wage.